Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The material we cover today will be a review for some of you, those who have watched the previous videos. This will be required for material that we'll cover next. So this is a good review. It will be useful for the upcoming lessons. So we know that the Arabic language is comprised of, at the very basic level, atomic level, of kalima, which is equivalent to mufrad, the individual word. And the individual word is either ism, fi'l or harf. It's either a noun or a verb or a connector. So that's when the words are taken individually, they're called ism, fi'l, harf. Now when you put the ism, fi'l, harf together, you get murakkab, which is a compound. And this murakkab, compound, is the opposite of mufrad. Mufrad means individual word, murakkab means compound. And then the murakkab itself has two types, mufid and ghayr mufid. Mufid is a murakkab or compound that has a complete meaning, that conveys a complete meaning. If you stop, it satisfies the listener and it does not leave room for questions. For example, when you say Ja'a Zaydun, Zayd came, this is a murakkab, a compound, and it is a combination of a fi'l. Ja'a is a fi'l, a verb, and Zaydun is an ism, a noun. So we have a compound of fi'l and ism, and this is a mufid murakkab, or a complete compound. It has a complete meaning. The other type of murakkab is ghayr mufid, which is incomplete, which does not convey a complete meaning, such as Kitabu Zaydin, the book of Zayd. Now this is, in terms of English, it's a phrase, but it's not a complete sentence. And so this is an incomplete compound or murakkab ghayr mufid. Literally, mufid means useful, ghayr mufid means not useful. So you can see the connection that the complete compound, it conveys a complete useful meaning, and the incomplete compound does not convey that complete meaning. So we'll deal with mufid from here on. Murakkab, mufid, or the complete compound which conveys a complete meaning, is called kalam also. It's also called jumla, which means sentence. So it is a complete sentence. It has three names: murakkab, mufid, or kalam, or jumla. Now this complete compound or kalam or jumla has two types, khabariya and insha'iyya. Khabariya is the kind of sentence which gives news, which informs you of something that happened, that is happening, or that will happen. And the way to distinguish it is that when someone says it, they can be saying the truth, or they can be saying a lie. So you can say that this is true or this is false. When it is said, it will make sense to say it's true or it's false. For example, we'll go back to our old example here. If you say Ja'a Zaydun, Zayd came, this is a jumla khabariya. Why? Because it gives us news of something that happened. Zayd came. And you can tell that by thinking about the meaning. When someone says Ja'a Zaydun, you can say it's true or it's false. They can be telling the truth, or they can be making this up, and it could be a lie. So If you could say that about a sentence, that kind of sentence is called jumla khabariya. Kind of jumla khabariya. This is either true or false. The other type is called insha'iyya, which is not the way khabariya is. It is still a complete sentence, but you cannot say true or false when someone says it. For example, command. If someone tells you to do something, read a book, you cannot say true or false because it doesn't make sense to say that about a command. Or if someone expresses a wish, I wish I did something, you cannot say true or false about that. It cannot be true or false because in that context, true or false does not make sense. So if you can say true or false, if you can say to the one who says it that you're saying the truth or you're telling a lie, then it's khabariya. But if you cannot say that and that will not make sense to say true or false, then it's called insha'iyya. So khabariya has two types, ismiya and fa'liya. So a jumla khabariya, a sentence that's khabariya, has to be either ismiya or fa'liya. Ismiya is when it begins with a noun. If it begins with an ism, then it's called jumla khabariya ismiya. Jumla khabariya ismiya. Zaydun muallimun is an example. Zayd is a teacher. So this, first of all, is starting from the very beginning, is a murakkab. It's a compound because you have an ism and another ism. Ism. So it's a combination of two isms. That's why it's a compound. Is it mufid or ghayr mufid? It happens to be mufid because Zaydun muallimun, Zayd is a teacher, conveys a complete meaning. Now, since it's mufid or jumla, now is it khabariya or insha'iyya? Zaydun muallimun, Zayd is a teacher. So when you say that, it's either true or false. He's either really a teacher or he's not. So since you can say that it's true or false makes sense in this case, therefore Zaydun muallimun is jumla khabariya. And then finally, is it ismiya or this other one? It is ismiya because it begins with an ism. It begins with a noun. Zaydun muallimun, Zayd is a teacher. So that's what a jumla khabariya ismiya is. The other example is Zaydun noun. Zayd slept. Zayd slept. This is a jumla khabariya ismiya as well because it begins with an ism. Even though the compound here is noun and verb, we don't care what the second part is or what the next part is, as long as the beginning is ism. It begins with an ism, therefore it is jumla khabariya ismiya. And the other kind of khabariya is fa'liya. And obviously it is the kind which begins with a verb, with a fi'l. So if it begins with a fi'l, then it is jumla khabariya fa'liya. Nama Zaydun. This is a compound of verb and noun. Fi'l and ism. So therefore it's a jumla khabariya fa'liya. If you notice, these two convey the same meaning. Here it says Zayd slept.